Adejoke Adele, PA News.
Adesanya from the Guardian newspaper.
My name is Elizabeth Esma from OGTV.
Craig Oluwasegun is my name from Ogun Audit.
My name is Adebokola Ogundeyabolade from Splash FM.
Surely James is my name. I'm of this day newspaper.
Abdulkuruz Ogundapo is my name, representing the Punch.
My name is Razak Kaila of Business Day.
Attached to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
I'm Mrs. Akepelo Fumilola, Information Officer attached to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
I'm Mr. Bingo Duwale, photographer, Media Unit, Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
I'm Tinere Deborah, a COP member, Ministry of Culture and Tourism, Media Department.
Thank you. You are all welcome to the business of the day. While I welcome Mr. Kayode Uluokun to give us a welcome address and lead us and tell us why we are gathering here.
Thank you very much, the anchor. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, here representing of Culture and Tourism, the anchor ministry represented by his Permanent Secretary, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, ably represented, Chairman of Local Government Areas, gentlemen and ladies, guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to make this presentation to this August gathering and to provide highlights of the Ogun State SDG Ambassador Pageant to the public. 17 Goals Agenda for Empowerment, Foundation and Eke Consistency Media and Entertainment Limited are organizations committed to engaging, inspiring, and empowering everyone, especially at the grassroots, to support the realization of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal and Agenda 2030 in Nigeria and by extension Africa. Towards attaining this goal, promoting the rich culture of the people of Ogun State as well as our investment opportunities, 17 Goals Agenda for Empowerment Foundation, Eke Consistency Media and Entertainment, in collaboration with Ogun State Ministry of Culture and Tourism, are organizing Ogun State, the first Ogun State Sustainable Development Goal Ambassador Pageant, through the search and selection of the most passionate, intelligent, hardworking, young and beautiful women who can serve as role model for upholding advocacy on United Nations SDG at the local government area and state level. Preliminary activities of the event are underway, and a virtual state SDG ambassador will be crowned in an elaborate ceremony at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta, on Saturday, April 9, 2022. Leading up to the pageant contest at the state level, there will be a week-long skill acquisition program in 4 trades, which include photography, bead making, hairdressing, and adire-based souvenir production. There's going to be an audition for the contestant from Monday, March 28, 2022 to Friday, April 1, 2022. 4 female indigenes from each local government area of Ogun State who must be between the ages of 18 and 35 years to attend the skill acquisition program and auditioning in Abeokuta through the collaboration of the chairman of the local government area and members of House of Assembly representing that constituency. 20 SDG ambassadors, one from each local government area, will emerge from the local government area level. That is from the 4 sent to us, one will emerge as an ambassador for their local government area to vie for the Ogun State SDG Ambassador Crown at the state level. Winner will emerge through an aggregate of 50% score from the panel of judges and 50% score from the on-site audience and viewer from online streaming on social media. The 20 local government area SDG Ambassador will reign for 1 year and will be engaged in advocacy on United Nations Sustainable Development Goal activities across the state over the year, pending the emergence of the next set of SDG ambassadors in the states. The selected ambassadors in the pageant will win cash prizes and other consolation prizes. The pageant will be an annual event, and the theme for this year is addressing gender-based violence and rape against women in our society. As part of the week-long activities of the pageant at the state level, this theme will be deliberated upon by a discussion panel made up of eminent personalities, people of Ogun State, members of bilateral and multilateral organizations, international development agency, diplomatic community, and country of industries. Other activities lined up for the final week include panel discussion on investment promotion for tourism and culture, visits to governor's office and first lady office, Olumoro, Adura International Market in Itoku, Abeokuta. We must commend the Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Oluwatoyin Emmanuel Taiwo, and the entire management and staff of Ogun State Ministry of Culture and Tourism for the support and backing that this project has received from the very beginning. We must also express our gratitude to those organizations that have shown interest in sponsoring this project in various ways, while calling on others in the private sector, well-meaning indigenes of Ogun State, companies doing business in Ogun State, investors and friends of Ogun State, and the diaspora to rise as one and identify with the aspirations of the government of Ogun State through in-kind and in-cash sponsorship of this pageant for all-round success. Sponsorship categories will benefit matrices, unravel partnership opportunity, unravel networking opportunity, including official brands and products, endorsement opportunity have been drawn down for sponsorship in this project. For more information, please you can contact myself and my colleague and one of our directors. The number will be given soon. Thank you and God bless.
Can we please give him a round of applause? Thank you very much, sir. Before we call on the Honorable Commissioner for the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, I would like to call on our mommy, our mother. She has passed through a lot and they are more directing with the younger ones. And encouragement for women and for ladies, the female gender especially. Mommy, our Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Olufumilayo Ifuape, ably represented by the Director of Empowerment Services in the Ministry of Women Development and the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Wonola Kazim. You're welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, all. The Honorable State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, heavily represented by Barrister Olaoton, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, the organizer of this program. Permit me to sit on the existing protocol, gentlemen of the press. I believe this the Ogun State SDG pageants cannot come up at a better time in our states like this. Gender-based violence has eaten deep is a cankerworm that has eaten deep into the society. And now we are within the period of when female genital violence week. War Against Genital Mutilation Day is celebrated worldwide February 6. A lot of our girls have been abused, have been molested. The culture of silence and resilience is predominant in our society. The cankerworm has eaten deep that everybody is assumed to be a perpetrator. 1 in 10 girls or women will have one time or another been abused or been a survivor of gender-based violence. With this year theme, gender-based violence and rape against women in our society, I believe is one of the ways by which the culture of silence can be broken. Our young girls can speak out through various competition whereby people will be allowed to speak out. Why we have lots of ills in our society now is because there are survival of gender-based violence whose emotion has been taught with and which are not healed properly. They tend to grow up with that emotion. And the ill or the unjust treatment which they have passed through in the hands of either intimate partner or close relative that cannot be healed tend to live with them. So with this competition, I believe it's going to be the biggest ever competition because I have given in the word of the Honorable State Commissioner. We are going to go to all the 20 local governments to encourage our young women within the reproductive age and rights to come out and participate in this competition. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mom. Minister of Culture and Tourism, Dr. Oluwatoyin Emmanuel Taiwo, represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mr. Olusegun Olautan, Esquire. Daddy, you're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Let me first apologize for starting this press conference late. I'm sure it was due to some hiccups on the part of the organizers. I've been around since 8 a.m. So, speaking of the Ministry of Culture. So we are sorry for that. Dr. Taiwo, my boss that I'm representing this morning, the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Olufunlayo Efakwe, ably represented by Director of Women Affairs and Social Development, my dear sister, Mrs. Onola Kasi, Mr. Kayode Olu, the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of 17 Goals Agenda Projects. Mr. Monday Bennett, the co-founder of 17 Goals Agenda Projects. The directors in the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Our women journalists. Ladies and gentlemen. I would like to deliver the speech of the Honorable Commissioner now. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the press conference announcing the Ogun State United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, Ambassador Pageant, which is a collaboration project between 17 Goal Agenda for Empowerment Foundation / Hacking, Consistency Media and Entertainment Limited, as well as Ogun State Ministry of Culture and Tourism. As many of us are aware, the Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by the United Nations and the 193 signatory countries around the world, including Nigeria, in the year 2015, as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by the year 2030, all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Various forward-thinking organizations, private, public, bilateral, multilateral, and international development agencies have keyed into this goal, as well as the call, and have also undertaken various initiatives towards ensuring that these goals are achieved by the target date of 2030. And so when we receive a proposal for the 17 goal actions on this initiative, it piques our interest to look into it closely as a Ministry of Culture and Tourism in Ogun State. Last year, upon invitation, the 17 Goal Hacking made a presentation on this initiative to the entire management and staff of the ministry. They had done their homework. Their research was grounded on facts. Their presentation was impeccable and was first of its kind. The proposal has specific relevance to the needs of our teeming youth, especially at the grassroots, cutting across the 20 local government areas of Ogun State and not leaving anyone behind. It aligns with the development mantra of our able governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun MFR, of building our future together. Therefore, as a ministry, we bought into the proposal immediately. Of particular interest is that this pageant focuses on empowering our young women and addressing gender violence and rape in our society. It is unique and not the usual pageant where we see our young girls walk on the stage in a manner not in consonance with our culture. This pageant will showcase the rich cultural heritage of the good people of Ogun State and promote our investment opportunities. It offers early exposure of our youth to ambassadorial positions and responsibility. It was based on these excellent qualities that the endorsement letter was provided for this project. I therefore call on private sectors, well-meaning indigenes, friends of Ogun State, and the diaspora to rally around this pageant and support the project to be highly successful. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. You have said it that the administration of Prince Dapo Abiodun, his shared mantra, the ministry is in line with it. That is why this project is being endorsed by the ministry. And God will continue to help him and take Ogun State to greater heights. Now we are all giving the microphone out to the gentlemen of the press. I know you have lots of questions to ask. So please, if you have any questions, kindly signify so that we can have the microphone.
When the organizer was addressing us, he said four ladies, women, will be chosen from each of the local governments. My question now is, how will they be chosen? How will they be diverted from politics? What are the criteria that will be put in place?
Any other person?
Pageant anywhere is conducted in the world requires a lot of financial muscle, and of course you're having a partnership with the stakeholders. We would like to know if you are getting some other organization on board Now, finance must be done by government, or you have, or the 17 goal agenda has the money back somewhere to finance this. That's the first question. The second question, it's going to be a follow-up to what this demand asks, is that we understand that this SDG is for everybody, irrespective of politics or age or gender. We would like to know how are you going to separate or isolate the political control in this, in such a way that everybody from even the Riverine area, because we have a Riverine area in Okia as well as Waterside, how they are going to be covered. I think we would like to know what will happen in the ground level. Thank you.
For the selection of the 4 participants, when we started this project, we tried different models to see how we can pick the 4 participants from the states in each of the local governments. One of the things that we try to do is not to gather people together because of the COVID-19. So that became a big challenge, because going to different local governments means we are going to gather a lot of people and do audition for them and pick 4 out of these people. So when we look at the X side of it, and also you just mentioned that we have the Riverine area, how many places can we cover in the next maybe few months for us to be able to achieve? So we resorted to a model whereby, just like what you said, it is for everybody, to carry everybody along. So what we did is to out, and also the local government chairman and their wife. They are the one that is going to select the 4 people. Now, we're going to do a due diligence. One of the things we're trying to do is to make sure that nobody, maybe these people are coming from their own people, maybe their own personal family members. It's not, there's a criteria for selection of these people, so that nobody pick his own family member to be the representative. So, but we're going through that model to make sure that the House of Assembly are part of it, the local government chairman and the ministry is also part of it. So we are working through the 3 layers of government to get the 4 representatives from each of the local governments to achieve this. We look at it in the nearest future, since this event is an annual event. By the time we see that the health issue or the COVID-19 is out of place, we'll be able to gather people and be able to select by ourselves in the nearest future. I think that answers Mr. James' question and part of my brother's question. In terms of sponsorship, yes, the ministry is putting their weight behind us. Just the same way we said it is for everybody. One of the things that happened during the Millennium Development Goal, which United Nations realized, was that they didn't carry private sector along. It was multilateral, unilateral agency, and NGOs that were doing the Millennium Development Goal. At the end of the day, it failed because resources were needed and they couldn't meet up. So that is the reason why Sustainable Development Goal came with the idea of including everybody, private sector, multilateral agency, NGO, government, so all of us work together. So giving us endorsement letter, putting all the government apparatus in place for us, that is what government is doing. Why we put the idea together and the private sector will be the one to fund it. So we are getting sponsor from private sector and in diaspora. Thank you.
Stakeholders. So what are the major points in place to ensure the continuity of this development? Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Before I address your question, let me make some clarifications on the question asked by my right-hand man here. He asked about to image out of the 4 people that are selected from each local government area.
To select the 4. How are they selected?
Okay, in selecting the 4 females from the local government area, we are putting in place a model which is a collaboration between the local government representatives in the House of Assembly. In Ogun State, there are 20 local government areas. And in the House of Assembly, our understanding is that there are some local government areas in the House of Assembly that have more than 1 representative. And so what we are doing is that because 4 females have been allocated per local government area, those local government areas that have 2 representatives in the House of Assembly, we will allocate 2 per representative, to make up 4, so that at the end of the day we still have 4 per local government area, making up 80 in total. And apart from that, after the 4 have been selected through this collaboration between the local government chairman and the members of House of Assembly, the pageant is going to run for 2 weeks. The first week is where we'll have the skill acquisition program and the audition. The auditioning includes competitions, quizzes, for which we are partnering with some international development agencies, multilateral agencies to help us with standardizing this competition and standardizing the quiz. So the winners will emerge from series of these competitions, which together we put as audition. That is how that's how winners are going to emerge from each local government area. So out of the 80 that you have, at the end of the day, after that first week, you're going to have 20 winners that emerge, 1 from each local government area, and getting ready to compete at state level. Okay, somebody asked another question. Oh, okay, yes. My brother here asked about sustainability. The first thing to note is that when you have something that is successful, it is already sustainable. This project is, first of all, endorsed by the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, and we already have understanding that it's going to run annually. So, by the way the project is defined, it does not depend on. It's going to be a standard Ministry of Culture and Tourism, and it's not supposedly going to depend on what executive arm of the government comes into administration or not. So it is sustainable from the definition of the project and from the design. Thank you.
Yeah, for me to add to what my colleague just said, to make the project sustainable, one of the things that we put in place also is to work with the private sector. Now, the winner of this project are going to be in the office for 1 year. So during that 1 year, a series of activities will be taking place. And also, private sector that is coming on board want to also have access to these winners so that they can promote their products and brands for them. So most of the sponsors we've talked to, that is what they are looking for. And if brand is telling you that these people will be useful for them to the grassroots, that is sustainable enough because it's an annual thing. They will be coming back annually to make sure that they get another set of people to be their face in the community.
Thank you very much, sir, for all the clarifications. On this note, I welcome Mr. Monday Edet to give us the vote of thanks.
Good morning, house again. I hope it's still morning. Okay, I'm for the government in the house. Good afternoon. Okay, so we are delighted that we have been received so warmly and would like to give vote of thanks. Vote of thanks at the press conference of Ogun State SDG Ambassador Pageant on Thursday, February 10, 2022. Ogun State House of Assembly here represented. Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Culture and Tourism, our host ministry and the anchor ministry. Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, here ably represented by our sister also. I'm also claiming her sister. Chairman of local government areas. Gentlemen, I have been warned this morning that there are no ladies at the press. So what I had in my address was gentlemen and ladies of the press, but now I correct myself to gentlemen of the press. Our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to have been asked to give a vote of thanks on this occasion of announcing to the public the Ogun State SDG Ambassador Pageant. On behalf of 17 Goals Agenda for Empowerment Foundation and Hacking Consistency and Media and Entertainment Limited, I'd like to extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all speakers for gracing this important occasion and giving us the opportunity. We are thankful to the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, represented. A big thank you all to Dr. Oluwatoyin Taiwo, the Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, for his efforts and support for this project from the beginning. He was one of the first to identify the special relevance of this project to the teeming youths of Ogun State. I am not surprised that he has. That big thank you extends to the entire staff and management of Ministry of Culture and Tourism. There are not many offices we have not sought assistance from, and everybody was cordial and ready to help. I must mention a deep sense of appreciation for the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs for becoming a link and bridge to all the chairmen of the 20 local government areas in Ogun State. They ensured that they provided regular reminders for our correspondences as necessary. We are very grateful to the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development. This project has special relevance also to women, and they demonstrated their commitment by ensuring that they are represented here early on. We would like to acknowledge our gratitude to the gentlemen of the press here for their commitment to giving an excellent coverage of the pageant. To all our valued guests, participants, we express our sincere thanks. We of the 17 Goals Agenda for Empowerment Foundation and Hacking Consistency Media and Entertainment Limited are inspired by your show of support and backing. Thank you very much.